Ready to go local live. I'm Josh Fenton, CEO and co-founder. I want to thank Robert Rutley from Mott & Chase for joining us earlier today, talking about his predictions for what the real estate market is going to look like. If you don't know, a big snowstorm is headed towards Rhode Island. For this weekend, there's a big write-up on GoLocal. You can check that out as well. But let's go to Jim Dowd. Jim Dowd's an entrepreneur here in Rhode Island. This guy, for 23 years, he and his wife have been building Beehive Handmade. Jim, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thanks so much for having me on, Josh. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Jim, talk about, let's start, we want to talk to you about two things today. One, the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program, and also the travels of your business over the last 23 years. Let's start with you founding this business with your wife. Talk about that, where you started, where you are today.
Sure thing. So Beehive Handmade was started in 1999. I started it along with my wife, Sandra Bonazzoli, basically out of this little studio we had in our farmhouse in central Massachusetts. We'd both been through art school, and I had been working at the time making a lot of lighting and furniture, and Sandra was making kind of one-of-a-kind jewelry pieces. And we had always been kind of collectors of things we'd find at flea markets that were functional kitchen gadgets and things like that. And so we started with a very small collection of about 6 products that were specifically kitchen items. And we took those to a trade show, and we had the heart-shaped measuring spoons we brought to that trade show, and they were super successful, and we realized we could kind of start a business based on this little product line. So we've grown that line to include baby gifts, wedding gifts. We do a lot of holiday ornaments. We still do some jewelry, and we make some ceramics as well. And we're based now in Warren, Rhode Island, on Water Street, where we have a showroom, and we have our manufacturing in the back of the house and the showroom in the front of the house. And so about just 4 years ago, I participated in the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program. And it was at a time where we had been in business for close to 20 years. And I was in a little bit of a rut, I guess. And the program really helped rekindle my enthusiasm for the business and created some opportunities to grow the business. And it was really, it's kind of they call it like an MBA boot camp. So it's only 12 weeks, and they take you through everything from financing, managing employees, identifying a growth opportunity for your business, and then kind of completing this workbook where you do market research and talk to customers and really plan out a strategy for your growth opportunity. And so my growth opportunity was to add the option of personalization to a lot of my products. So for wedding gifts and baby gifts especially, I can now engrave, anniversaries and birthdays and, babies' names and christening dates and things like that on a lot of my products. And I would say now probably 30% of the items that I sell are personalized. So it's been a huge benefit to my business and something that I wouldn't be able to accomplish without the program.
And did you wrestle with, all those things that entrepreneurs wrestle with, like, I'm so busy all the time, how can I possibly make time for this?
Yes, it's a legitimate time commitment. It was each Friday we met at CCRI campus in person, and then there was homework and things like that to do. But it was really, in the long term, it's not really that much of a commitment. And for anyone who is looking to grow their business and create a broader network and market for their products and services, it's well worth the time. And still, I try to carve out at least half a day a week to work on things on my business rather than working just at my business.
Yeah. Jim, what was the value of the network, your fellow members of the same cohort who went through it? And do you meet other graduates of the past who went through the program here in Rhode Island?
Absolutely. I'm glad that you asked that. That was probably one of the best takeaway for me personally through the program. So kind of coming out of art school and being in the craft and art market for so long, that was pretty much my network. That was it. And so being in the program, I met landscapers, restaurant owners, real estate attorneys, driving school instructors, just a real wide range of people who have businesses that are a lot different than mine, but face a lot of the same problems and challenges. And not only, so there was that network of the other students in the class, and then also the business advisors and bankers and other professionals that I met in the program have been a huge resource. And so 2 years ago, I was looking to in-source my production and move away from outsourcing to our Providence area manufacturing partners. And so I worked with my business advisor from the program and some other people from that same network that helped us put together a business plan and purchase a building here in Warren. And that's just a huge benefit to have that network, to be able to call on, even for small things and for big projects as well. And probably in the last 3 years, at least a dozen different 10K SB people have worked with us on collaborations and help with websites, and had a bad tenant one time and was able to turn to the real estate attorney and ask for her advice. It's a huge benefit to grow your network.
Jim, talk about, let's really narrow it down. How much have you grown since you went through the program, and what's been the, maybe not just even in sales growth or profitability, but also in the impact of how much you enjoy running the business and what the implications of that have been?
Yeah, sure. So, I know people like stats. So
we love stats. We're in the news business.
The sales have grown just over 30% since 2018. And I've added 2 employees. So there's those 2 stats. And as I mentioned earlier about the website, that's grown, close to 200% since I participated in the program year over year. So, and then personally, it really did rekindle my enthusiasm for the business and what the business could be, and, made me think about where the business is now, developed, an exit strategy for the future. And a lot of times I think small business owners just think, oh, I'll just work until I die, and that's my exit strategy. So I feel like it's kind of given me to put in business terms, like a 30,000 foot view of my business. And being a metalsmith and jeweler type, I'm really more of a task-oriented person and really focus on details. So the program really forced me to kind of step back and look at my business in more of a big picture kind of way. And that's helped tremendously, both in the sales and growth of my business, and also just personally as well.
Jim, obviously every business has faced complexities unanticipated due to the pandemic and what the implications have been on everybody's business. Talk about what's happened to your company to Beehive over the past 2 years, and then what tools you got out of the program that helped you survive and move forward during these past nearly 24 months.
Sure. So, been in business for just over 20 years, and I feel like every 5 years or so, I get blindsided by something that I didn't see coming. So,
so you didn't see the pandemic coming. You were not prepared for that. The book was not on the shelf of what to do in case of a global pandemic.
But one thing that the program really kind of forced me to do was kind of just shift my perspective, and challenges are going to happen, and if you can sort of meet those challenges and see them as an opportunity instead of a problem, then you can kind of parse out what how you can continue to run your business and maybe even grow your business as a result of the challenges. So I was very fortunate to have a decent mailing list, and I already had a website with e-commerce. And so really any stimulus money that we received, we poured into making our website more functional and better, and really focused on the direct-to-consumer sales through the website. In March of 2020, we got so many emails from all of our wholesale accounts that they were closing their brick and mortar stores for some period of time, and really were concerned that there was just so much uncertainty at that time. My wife and I actually planted a garden because we thought, we are going to starve, so we need to grow our own food.
A victory garden is always a good thing to have,
Yes,
just in case.
so that was a good distraction, and I actually just picked some kale from the garden last night, believe it or not. It's still holding on before that snowstorm comes. But seriously, it really was beneficial to sort of to know that I have this network available to me as a support system, and to be able to use some of the same principles that I learned in the program to kind of make strategic decisions about how to move forward during the pandemic, and how to keep moving forward during the pandemic. And I feel like rather than reacting to whatever gets thrown at us as a business, that we can have some level of security, knowing that we have a strategic approach to our problem solving.
Jim, if I'm a small business owner and I'm watching this, and I'm thinking about, should I not? Finish the sales pitch. Why should somebody sign up for this? We'll give them all the links and all the connections to what they need to do. But what is it that they should, what's your encouragement?
Sure. Well, it's a free program, so it's no cost. So that is a huge benefit right there. It gives you access to capital. You meet bankers and you meet people from the community development organizations in Rhode Island and the region. And I feel like growing your network of entrepreneurs in Rhode Island and nationally as well, because the program exists throughout the United States, it's an investment in your business and yourself. And I feel like when you take the time to work on your business, your business will benefit, the community will benefit, and you'll benefit personally from it as well.
Jim, I want to thank you. Congratulations on surviving meteorite strikes and pandemics and all the rest. Hopefully these will spread out, these big shifts from 5 years to 7 or 10 years. But seriously, congratulations on all the success. As we all know, growing a small business is not easy. It's not easy in Rhode Island. And to make it 23 years is a tremendous success to you and your wife. Congratulations. For everybody else, stay tuned. There's much more going on GoLocal. It is a chock full of news day already. Stay tuned for much more coverage. Listen, if you haven't gotten boosted after your first 2 shots of vaccine, go and do it. It makes a big difference. It's going to protect you. It's going to keep you out of Rhode Island Hospital, which is not a place anybody wants to go to right now. And it's probably going to save your life if you do have some health issues and you get infected. So please take care of yourself and get boosted. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe.